Hey everyone, this is Fi. I'm checking out Balls Upon Felt. This is a game I've not played before, but we're going to give this a shot today. See if we can give some feedback here. I've not played this before, as I mentioned, but I have played some other games by this developer in the past, which are always interesting, so I'm curious to see how this turns out. All I know about this is it appears to be something like pool, as you can clearly see. Something pool themed here, but apparently it's like a roguelite deck builder kind of thing with pool mechanics, I imagine. That's what I gather. In any case, we got this very interesting shifty looking menu here. Let's go ahead and see if we can get in the options maybe. So clicking on that didn't do anything. I don't know if perhaps that's just not implemented yet. The game is in a window right now. I just have it maximized. I'm just gonna go ahead and click on begin, see what happens here. So it looks like table O, default table title. Interesting, this background. I guess it's kind of choppy looking, but I think it's doing this sort of pixel perfect movement, which is why it's doing that. It's probably not the actual frame rate here. Turn that just a little. It might be a little bit loud, the music here. Hopefully that'll be easier to listen to. I guess we just click on this. I don't think we can click on any of these other things. Wow, ooh. Is this in real time? Or it looks like everything's coming to rest slowly here. Oh, and now this is here. So I guess I was just waiting for everything to come to rest, but I don't know if I could have done something before things stopped moving or what, but alright, so it looks like we're just using a mouse control with this. I don't know if like how far you pull back matters, because I'm noticing like in the corner here, it doesn't look like I can pull it back very easily because it's like I'm hitting the edges of the screen here. Now I did, if I, that's gonna look blurry because I just, I unmaximized the window. So like, it's just a tiny little window on my screen right now. So I clearly have a lot more room to move my mouse, which you can see how big my mouse is in the capture here. So I don't know if that's meant to be the case. Let's go ahead and try this and see what happens. I can't see the numbers on the balls. I don't know if that matters. You just hit any random ball. Okay. Oh. I think okay. What on earth? Okay. Interesting. So right click, you hold right click, you can move this around. This is a little bit much. I'd want to turn the mouse sensitivity down. But I think somehow I got it stuck. So what happens is with my mouse, this mouse I got, the right click is kind of easy to hit. Like I just kind of accidentally hit it sometimes just from like the weight of my hand resting on it. So that's what happened. And in addition to that, it somehow I got it into a state where I had only pressed the right mouse button momentarily and I had let off of it. So I wasn't holding it down, but it was kind of stuck. Like it didn't receive the mouse up or the button up message. So it was like I wasn't holding it down, but it was still moving the screen around while I was moving the mouse. I don't know how that happened. It's like my cursor went out of the window or something. I don't know what exactly that was, but that was the thing that apparently can happen. I can't recreate it now. But yeah, it looks like if you hold right mouse button, you can move this. I'm still feeling really claustrophobic in the corner here. Oh, okay. So holding the cursor right here causes some funkiness. So apparently if we hover over the balls, we get these little pop-ups here. Their multiple colors indicate that they are of higher value than singularly colored balls upon felt. Striped balls upon felt. The most basic of all balls, like most others, it scores points when pocketed. So apparently all of these are different. Okay, so in terms of excuse me, in terms of appearance, I think you can tell by the color, like these are all this kind of dark green color, and they just say they're colored balls upon felt, and then these ones say striped balls upon felt, which is supposedly a little bit higher value. It's like value 18, value 11. And these are kind of like a dark purple, it looks like. I might guess these are like placeholder visuals. But as far as I can tell, the only difference right now is just this different hue to them. So I would imagine, you know, having more different visual differentiation between them would be something to aim for. So I think I'm supposed to pull this back more before I click. Again, it's quite awkward in the corner here, unless I unmaximize the screen possibly. Even then, it seems like I really have to move the mouse quite a ways before it'll pull back. I don't know. Now this is hard just because the window is so small in the middle of my screen. It's like I almost don't have enough pixels to see what I'm doing. I also can't actually see the Q stick anymore because it's off the screen. Oh, okay, so I tried to click and it just clicked on another window on my screen, so I couldn't even I couldn't even do it. So that's not a solution apparently. Can I click and hold or something? Click and then hold and then pull back. It's very awkward trying to aim because I can't move them. Like my mouse is hitting the bottom of the screen. Like I can't pull it down any further. So as it turns out, I have a second monitor that my cursor's kind of going over onto, so I think that's helping me out. Okay, I guess that kind of works. So I click and held and then dragged to try to, you know, be able to pull back the Q stick far enough while avoiding the issue of clicking outside of the window not working, right? So I guess that's what I'm going to have to do. But again, like if I didn't have the second monitor or where my cursor could move over there, it looks like I wouldn't even be able to do that, like to be able to pull it back far enough. So that was kind of weird. I'm not really sure how this is meant to work in terms of like if you're over here in the corner, like does this actually work to be able to pull back the Q like that consistently? Not sure what the intention is there. So we've got some things to choose from. So it looks like we're collecting balls. So that's interesting. A complete sack of balls. That's the deck building, clearly. Gains 5 value whenever it hits another ball. Interesting, okay. Ball struck by this one will be electrocuted in such a way that it doubles their value. These balls are dense and have thrice the mass of most others. Oh, so the value I assume... I don't know what specifically the value does, but it seemed like you want to get higher value balls into the holes. Is that true? Because like these ones don't have any special effects, but like the darker ones have a higher value. So it's like, I don't know what, we'll have to see if we can figure out what value means in the context of the game here. So I assume it's more than just an indication of how powerful the card is, or the ball is or whatever. Okay, so this one doubles value. These are high mass, so that can affect how you are able to knock them around clearly. Now this one makes me wonder, like, I don't know what the rules are in terms of how many, like, do you have a limited number of turns, or, I don't know, I haven't gotten far enough to really understand the rules of what I'm doing here, so I can't really make an informed decision about this. Oh, go ahead and click on that one. Looks like I'm at round 1 now. Oh. So, okay, so I have to hit the white ball. That's the big one that I got, which presumably. Oh my gosh, can I zoom? Is there other keyboard keys I can use or something? I don't know. I'm trying different inputs here, but not really. Okay. Oh, okay, so the top middle is the 7 shots. Is that ball still moving? Why did it move so little? Why is it hitting it? Okay, I think I must have to click and drag. It must be what I'm doing here. Just try knocking this one in. Oh, okay. So with the mouse really close to the ball, like a small movement moves the aiming like a lot, so I think I want to go back here to get a finer aim. And then click and drag, and that's also going to affect my aim, so I can't like lock in my aim before I do the power. No, it's the pool cue is shaking now that I'm holding the mouse button down. So is it like, am I still trying to pull back, or is it like how long I hold down the button, or what? Okay, well that didn't hit it that hard. I also didn't hit it the way I wanted to, but I did get something in. I'm not sure I can do much from here. What should I try to do here? I can drag back really far into my other monitor here. Yeah, that just didn't hit it very hard. I'm not sure what the maximum speed you can get in the game is, but you typically see higher speeds when you're playing pool, right? So not sure if this liquid looking effect up here means anything. Let's try a view like this. Okay, well, I did what I wanted to, but again, it just felt so weak. So I'm not sure if that's something I'm doing wrong, or if that's all the juice you can get out of the game here. Let's go ahead and look at our other options. That's the super dense one, Explodinator. Value 1. Whenever it hits a non-cue ball, this ball upon felt will detonate. Nearby balls upon felt will gain 11 value in the blast. Interesting. An orb which, when pocketed, reincarnates with double the value. That's cool. Now you notice that this one is moving. Is it moving more? It's moving the same amount as the one on the left, I guess. I don't know. It feels like this has more motion to it, but it might be the animation or something is contributing to that. But that looks like a good one. I definitely want to get that one going, if possible. So I do wish I could lock in the aim and then do the power separately. You know what I mean? Oh. Interesting. I was pretty sure that was going to hit it on the side here. I assume that the collision is quite precise on the... I mean, they're just spheres, right? So you'd assume that you'd have very... The collision would very accurately match the visual assets here, but maybe it just barely missed. It's a little hard to make judgments like that also because there's like quite a bit of distortion on the spheres and everything you can see as you get away from the camera and stuff like that, so which I think you kind of compensate for that, I think, by doing some camera shenanigans. Still want to get this one though, right? Like if I can. Yeah, I think maybe it might be like you click and hold and then over time it kind of gets more powerful as opposed to how far you are pulling it back kind of thing. So that did go in. It does... The effects of... how should I call it? The behavior of the balls going into the pockets is a little weird because it seems like it kind of gets really close and then it just disappears. The balls don't like visibly go in, and I feel like that's kind of unsatisfying, you know? Because that's one of the fun things about pool is just the satisfaction of the ball sinking into the hole, whereas this, it just kind of like it gets to this little boundary and then it just disappears. So I feel like that would be something you could, you know, think more about that, how kind of satisfying that aspect of it is. Alright, yeah, just click and hold. I know it doesn't seem like I have to drag it back after all, but I am a little disappointed in how little juice you get out of it. I'm having trouble getting the balls to go where I want them to. So this is the same one we got last time. 8 balls. If bucketed while other non-cue ball, non-8 balls exist upon felt, this ball upon felt causes the game to be lost. Alright, so super high value, but you have to knock in all the other balls before you knock in this one, which... Okay, apparently we can select one to replace. Are we always supposed to have 8 balls? I mean, obviously it would make sense to have 8 balls on a pool table, but it doesn't seem like we have any other control over how many balls there are, right? It seems like a lot with the amount of turns we're given to be able to get this one in. I wonder if, like, if you knock a ball in, if that doesn't count against your shots or something? Like, can you just keep playing as long as you're knocking the balls in? That would be interesting. But I don't know, I mean, nothing's really been explained, so just trying to figure it all out. Oh, it looks like we're in the final round already. Well, that's advantageous for knocking this ball in. Let's see if I can do it without screwing it up. But you can see like how distorted everything is around the edge of the table there. Gosh darn it. Well, it looks like I got the angle right. This is obviously very massive. But yeah, oh my gosh, like I really expect to have a little bit more strength to be able to put into this. I think it's barely enough to move that ball. So it says I have 6 shots. I want to see if I can get this ball in and then It would make sense also to have a little bit more kind of friction so that these come to rest a little bit sooner. Like you want them to zoom around, and then you don't want to be waiting around too long for them to just kind of like slowly creep to a stop. You know, like a real pool table is going to have this sort of felt surface where the balls aren't just going to keep very slowly rolling like that, you know, because of the felt. That would be kind of a nice thing to simulate, I think. Alright, this is 5 shots, so... I guess you get 8 shots in total, probably, and then in order to get that 8 ball in, you'd have to knock a ball in every time, which sort of makes sense. But I don't feel confident of being able to do that at the moment. That's just not very fast. You know, one of the things that happens in pool games usually is like, even if you miss what you were trying to do, the balls kind of zoom around the table enough and get, you know, knock into other things enough that like once in a while you get stuff that accidentally will go in. But with things, the speeds being as slow as they are right now, you're not really going to get any of that kind of effect, and it's sort of like missing out on one of the little fun details, I think, of pool games. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember the last time I played a pool game, but I feel like the idea of getting that, you know, obviously there's skill involved in getting the angles just right, but I feel like I've had a harder time of it with this game than I would expect, kind of. Like I'm just off by more than I would expect. And I don't know if that's just, you know, entirely down on my skill level, or if it's other factors involved with the game. Like I mentioned, you know, the distortions and stuff, which is a little bit weird. But I only got that one, so that was exactly what I was trying to do. I don't think there's any reason why you'd want to choose one of these, right? You know what would be funny is if you got like... I guess there's a limited number of rounds, but just as a technicality, if you had like all of, like a bunch of these in play, or even just like all of them were these, then it seems like you could just knock these in all the time and get like a zillion points. So yeah, it actually seems like it might be a good idea to just get as many of these as you can, because I assume you can have more than one. At which point, I feel like the more of these you can get in your sack of balls, the stronger it will be, because you know, when you only have one, then you have to hit all the other balls in before you get this one in. But if you had 2 or 3, then you'd have less balls that you'd have to hit in, or you could go after the 8 balls. So that seems like it's actually a really strong option if you could just get more of them, you know, keep getting more of them. I'm just gonna go with that anyways. It looks like, oh, we got a different table. I didn't expect that. Okay. So I guess we're still playing here. So at the moment, I don't seem to have the camera control. If I right click, am I just waiting? No, right click isn't doing, well, it's also, didn't I click on that already? Okay, now I can move the camera. I'm not sure what happened there. I do wish I could zoom out and maybe like shift the camera around, like do something other than this orbit, you know, to kind of get the view where I need it. Oh. Okay. So when the balls respawn, they can just randomly go straight into the hole again, which I don't think is something that you want. Also, wait, what? So this one always reincarnates. Okay, so this is the only one that does. Yeah, I don't know. I just got lucky. That was obviously very like a bunch of free points I just got for that happening. But now it seems like if I just keep hitting this one in over and over again, that's going to be a lot stronger than anything else at this point. So might as well try. Okay, let's... Oh. So I scratched that one. I guess the cue ball... just kind of appeared over here. I don't know if I can get this... Not quite. It's so close. So one thing I think I've seen in some other pool games is sometimes they show... This is kind of making it easier, you could argue, but I guess I personally appreciate it. So sometimes they show like where the point of first impact is going to be for the ball, and they kind of render the ball itself, if you know what I mean. So like if it's hard to do it because every time I move the mouse I can't like indicate. I can't aim the stick in the game and also move my mouse up here to indicate what I mean. So but it's just sort of like a ghost, you could call it a ghost ball, I guess. So it'll just show exactly where it's going to collide against. And that makes it a lot easier to make these kinds of judgments. And in my opinion, that's more fun for a video game, you know. Because then you can avoid these situations where you've seen me like a number of times where I'm just trying to hit like a really sharp angle, and it's like maybe I just completely whiff, or the ball kind of goes off something completely different, and it's like you know, an infinitesimal adjustment is the difference between like completely whiffing or actually hitting the ball exactly the way you wanted to and needed to. And I definitely appreciate having that little helper visual to make it a clearer thing, so you don't have like these, I don't know, how do you describe it? It's one of these situations in games that are often things you want to avoid, where it's just so much of a swing between like a tiny adjustment could go very far in either direction, if that makes sense. And you know, it's pool, so that happens IRL, but yeah, that's a thing that I appreciate. And you know, maybe this stuff about whatever distortions or other view oddities, you know, the visuals ever so slightly obscuring things or something is kind of worked around by that kind of feature. Yeah, it just makes it easier, so I think that's a cool thing to do. Makes it easier to line up shots. It doesn't affect, like if you wanna bounce off of multiple balls or something, you know, it usually only shows the first collision, so like it doesn't make everything so easy to so I haven't tried these. Yeah, it doesn't make it so it's so easy to do you know, every kind of move you want Just doesn't require any effort or anything. It's only the first collision. This... Okay, I think this one was like heading towards the pocket, and then it might have collided, and then it kind of started going back the other way. Okay, so it occurs to me there's only 6 balls on the table, so it's not using all of the balls in your sack or whatever it is. So I guess that's sort of along with that deck building element. Anyways, it seems like this is one of the strongest balls, so... Well, that's not good. Okay, so this table being round is going to have some weird effects like that, where... Not to mention the sheer number of pockets there are. I definitely feel like on this table, if we were hitting the balls at higher speeds, I'd probably be knocking the cue ball in all the time, and it probably wouldn't be easy to avoid that, just because the mechanics of this kind of table. So maybe in some kind of way the slow speeds are compensating for that. I don't know if this is a... there we go. Alright, so... I still want to go for the reincarnate orb. This guy's gonna get in the way. Try hitting it. This is one of those things, I don't know if I have enough power to like smash this through, you know what I mean? I don't think this is gonna work. Ah! Oh my gosh, this is right on the edge. Oh, come on, really? Okay, yeah, and again, these round sides, this cue ball is just gonna have that tendency to just hit the wall and then just hug the edge of it like that and just go right in the hole. I can't believe I missed that though. I did not think that was gonna miss. Ah, see again, it's just it's doing the same crap. Alright, so it looks like I don't have to wait for the balls to come to a rest. I have experienced loss. How did that happen? I thought I was still playing. So... I mean, I'm guessing that you're supposed to aim for a certain number of points every round or something like that to continue, but I was pretty sure I still had a shot left, so I didn't... Maybe I just got it wrong, but I thought I was still playing, so it was kind of weird, especially because I was still like actively moving the cue and everything. So what's the deal with replacing? Like, if I don't click up here, does it just adds one? But if I do click on one up here, then it'll replace. Then I can keep this smaller. So why wouldn't I want to do that? Like, I'd rather have less, right? Why is that one? I don't remember. Didn't I pick one of these before? I don't remember it looking like that. That's weird. Like, there's no actual ball. It's not gonna... Alright, so it did double the value of this one. But does that mean I can get this one in still? I don't know. I have to go for one of these fancy shots. That's probably not gonna happen. I don't think I even have enough power to make this happen. Eh. Should definitely go for these because they're higher value. Should have 5 shots left. One thing I noticed is that when this pops up, it doesn't, I guess it just makes all the balls disappear temporarily. Pinballs. Oh, 5 value whenever it hits another ball. That seems weaker than Mr. Electricity here, though. The steel one I don't want to use because it just seems immovable. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, so it does go on to the next. So, okay, yeah, it's just kind of weird because it just... I get taken out of the game so... spontaneously, I don't really understand what's happening. I don't know if I just exceeded the... Maybe there's a score goal that I'm trying to exceed, and then as soon as that happens, it goes into the next thing or something. Guess that might be what's going on. Oh, hold on a minute. Interesting. So this one still has its value doubled. So Mr. Lightning here, apparently this is like a permanent effect or something. That's... Did not expect that, so that seems like a big deal. Sweet. Okay, I actually don't think I want any of these, so let's go ahead and click take none. So I guess we just instantly... That one's just 36 still. 18. Okay, so interesting. I don't know what that means. Maybe there's a bug of some sort going on here, but this one still says 36 for the value, even though I hit it with the lightning again. So either this effect just doesn't stack, or this was supposed to be reset before and it didn't, or something weird's going on there. But I definitely would expect this effect to stack. I didn't expect it to be permanent, but it's interesting that it seems to be. Oh, this one only has a value of 1, so it doesn't even make much sense to knock this one in. This one starts at 1 too. Definitely feel like this one would be stronger if we at least could hit the balls harder, you know what I mean, and knock stuff all over the place. As of right now, I feel like this is pretty weak because unless it's, again, if it's a permanent effect, then maybe that's different. But like this one just seems a lot stronger. If you're talking about knocking balls together, this one gains 5 every time, but this one doubles, and the most basic one is 11, so in terms of value. So I like the doubling effect more, I'd say. Alright, let's go for this guy, because it should be easy. I feel like I'm in a good position here, except that the balls that I can knock in are not very high value ones, so it's like whatever. I do want to get this one in, so I don't know if maybe it's just worth trying to deal with these. I don't know if this is gonna work. At least get that one out of the way or something. Oh my gosh, okay, yeah, it did slip by. Interesting. So again, I'm pretty sure it's gonna hit the side of it, but I keep getting the judgment off, and then it kind of doesn't hit where I expect there. That's too bad. Well, that kind of made everything worse, didn't it? Not going so good so far. Let's see if we can get this one. So I think I'm supposed to aim for 48, but I have these these one value balls are the ones kind of covering the pockets here. That's too bad. It's just bad luck. But in theory, if I can knock this in the year, then this one gonna gain more value. Then if I get that one in, I'll get all the points I need. But I only have 3 shots to do it, and my track record for this kind of shot hasn't been very good so far. Alright, I did it. I can get this bad boy in. Sick, okay. Almost perfect. Oh, a rare and powerful ball upon felt whose value reflects its incredible rarity. Alright, so it's just a normal ball, but it just has 50 value for no reason. Yeah, I guess so. This one is... Oh, I kind of wish you could check what these were. I think this is the pinball one, yeah. Okay, and then these are the slightly higher value ones, and these are the normal ones. I don't think I want this one. I think this is too weak. It's only one as its base point value. You have to do a lot with this to make it go up. Again, I don't know if it's supposed to be a permanent effect or not, but so far it hasn't been helping me out, so maybe I just do that. Maybe I should have kept it just to try and figure out if it was a permanent effect or not. I want to check. Oh, I gotta click on this again for some reason. There's the mighty ball. Oh, there comes the UI. 18, 8. Okay, so this reset now, the values on these. So I don't know what was going on before with the value. I think it must have been a bug or something where it just didn't reset the way it was supposed to. But yeah, if I can electrocute mighty ball over there, that'll be worth a lot. Clearly, I don't think I can knock anything in doing that, but I can at least attempt. All right. Well, might even go in. Alright, cool. So I got what I wanted. This is in a terrible spot, though. I don't know. Oh, I did not think it was gonna go at that angle. I don't know what happened there. Interesting. Very interesting. So that, you know, pinball being such a physical game, you kind of have to be able to figure out how the interactions are gonna go, the angles and everything, and that was just completely not what I expected, so I don't know what happened there. Okay, this one's worth much more. Got a ton of value on that before. Now these are colliding. Okay, so this is something I hadn't considered before, because we have these collision effects, but like when the round starts, the balls can collide sometimes. So maybe that's something that's been going on here, where like this one right now, it says value 100. It could have just collided here, as opposed to like what I said before. Maybe when I noticed before, it looked like the values hadn't reset. Maybe it was just from these collision interactions at the start of the round or something, rather than you know, it being a bug or something. Which is very interesting, but it's also very RNG. Like, I don't know if you want that much RNG in your game. There's just so much luck involved. I mean, obviously it being a roguelite sort of deal, you can have an RNG aspect to it, but that makes a huge difference. Like, just random interactions like that happening. So, I don't know. And I like how this one has like a 2 to the 4th number on it. Oh, it's also value 16. That's interesting because it's a power of 2. Very clever. Okay, let's just knock some balls. How do we do this? Smash you. Eh. Alright, so I think I'm just going to try and knock these in. I'm not going to try and do any shenanigans with the lightning ball there, because it's not going to be a little too tricky, I think. Let's see if we can get you in. That second hit just did nothing. Does this one have extra weight or something? Because it seemed like this moved a lot less than this one did. I don't really know. Well, crap. I don't know if it's worth trying to do this kind of thing. Okay, so when you scratch, do you just like lose a shot? Is that what happens? Because this table is really annoying for scratching. It's very easy to do so. Oh, no, I didn't do anything. These ones have to be heavier. Hold, what is up with the value? 2,304. All right, yeah. I think. All right, so let's give some thoughts. I mean, I don't think I'm going to see much more in the game here. It's just going to be me playing the same thing. So, yeah, it's really interesting. I like the idea of having these different kinds of interactions with between the pool balls, combined with these, you know, roguelite effects, quote unquote roguelite. Like this doesn't. I feel like that the phrase roguelite or whatever has just become associated with these sorts of what do you call them? Like a Oh, I can't think of the word. Oh, the systemic elements, anyways, that are synergistic. That's the word I was thinking of. These synergistic systemic elements that we collect at random, right? It's just interesting how that's evolved. But in any case, yeah, it's a really interesting concept. I think in terms of execution, you know, I'm really hurting for the being able to hit the ball a lot harder. I feel like that would make a big difference. I do think that what I mentioned before about showing the point of collision with like a sphere would be something that I would find a lot more enjoyable. It just makes it so much easier to make these kinds of judgments where you're not likely to end up in so many of these situations where you're pretty sure you lined it up just so to get this certain kind of effect, but then it doesn't end up that way at all, you know. It could be kind of annoying. So I would enjoy that a lot more, I think, if you had that little feature. And I have to say I don't like the second table where it's kind of the circle with all the pockets. Seems like it's a bit annoying. I mean, it's the concept of having different table shapes and stuff is interesting, but that particular one is just so easy to scratch, and I don't know. I don't think I like that one so much. For that, I guess it's just for that specific reason. Just all the scratching. Apart from that, I guess it just kind of comes down to the individual mechanics of the balls, where I think some of them are a little more interesting than others. Oh, I definitely like the steel ball where the weight was kind of ridiculous and stuff like that. You know, there's all sorts of balance stuff I'm sure that could be tweaked better. Maybe this video gave you some ideas on that kind of thing. I am a little curious if the balls all have the same weight other than the steel one, because I feel like they ought to. It just seems like it would just be very unexpected to have any of these other balls have a different weight. Like, there's nothing indicating that would be the case, and that's just kind of, I feel like it goes against the spirit of the pool, you know, to have different weights between all the balls. It kind of makes sense to have that one that has the extra weight, you know. Maybe if it was tuned a little differently, so it was a little bit more manageable. But yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap this up. I hope this was useful. Definitely interesting concept. Oh, I guess the other thing I would mention is to wrap up is the controls are kind of wonky in terms of like working in the corners and stuff, like I said, and I couldn't really figure out like this thing where you it seems like because when you pull the mouse away it moves the cue back. It seems like that's relevant to maybe it hit that. I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's just you click and hold, right? Because that's what I've been doing. Yeah, I don't think that makes a difference. But you know, you see this visual effect, and I feel like that's something significant. So I would actually just remove that effect if that's not actually affecting anything. The way that the cue follows the mouse distance like that, because that's just misleading. And you know, obviously it would make sense to have some tutorialization. I know it's hard to do that with a game early in development or whatever, but you know, could have explained away some of these things that I was just kind of confused about or whatever. I would also, this is a little thing, but I would tone down the smoothing on this aiming element, because it takes a while for it to catch up to the mouse, you know what I mean? So it's kind of it's a little bit of an annoyance where it's just not very responsive to your movements, because you have to like move a little and then wait for the line to catch up, and then move a little again and then wait for it to catch up, you know what I mean? Instead of just kind of moving sort of a little more naturally the mouse. So I would tighten that up a little bit. I think that would help. But yeah, hopefully this is useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next one.